Hello, my name is Amanda Green, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a book I've recently read called To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and it's one of my favorite recent reads. It has been turned into a movie, but I highly suggest you read the book because it's way more descriptive. And so it's a book about a girl named Lara Jean. She writes love letters to boys when she has a strong crush. And that's something that, we're told all the time. If you have really strong feelings and you need to get something off your chest, but you know you shouldn't tell the person or you feel like you shouldn't tell the person, to write it out, pretend to send an email, all that, but don't send it, don't get it out there, just get your feelings out. And so Lara Jean does that, and she keeps them in this special box up high in her closet. And all of a sudden one day at school, a boy approaches her and is saying how he's flattered but not really interested, and that's when she has that sudden realization that the letter got out. And then she notices a boy is approaching, another boy, and this boy is her neighbor. Things are kind of complicated with him. He has a relationship with someone close to her, or he did, and so she doesn't want to complicate things further and make him think that she still likes him. So things end up getting way more complicated. She ends up getting in a fake relationship with one of the other boys who got a letter, and you'll have to read on to find out why he was interested in the fake relationship after he was saying, I'm flattered but not interested. And then they have all these rules to their fake relationship, and some of them are kind of funny and ridiculous. Like one of her rules is no touching, but you can put your hand in my back pocket like in 80s and 70s movies. And then he has a bunch of rules that he thinks should be included as well for their fake relationship. And so what really drew me into this story is that it's about two juniors in high school, and it's mainly told from Lara Jean's point of view. And it's her trying to navigate high school without her big sister around. She doesn't have a mom, and now things are a little more complicated. She's never had a boyfriend before. You kind of get an inside look too as to why she's never been in a relationship before, and her view on trusting people and letting people into her life. And that's something that I think a lot of people can relate to. I know I could, and that's why I kept reading on. When Lara Jean started opening up personally is when I felt a connection and said, okay, I can relate to her. Even though that this has a crazy storyline, I've never been in a fake relationship before, I've never written love letters that got out, I can still relate to this girl. She's struggling with high school, making friends, encountering old friends that are no longer her friends. She's struggling with relationships. And then she starts liking this boy that she's fake dating, and she's scared. And you'll have to read to find out why it's a problem and what she does about it. But all of a sudden, there's this turning point in the story where she starts realizing that maybe this isn't as good as I thought of an idea as I thought it was. And more stuff starts happening. And then, just when you think, okay, the story has to end, there's not much more can happen from this, you remember that the letters mysteriously got out and you have no idea how that happened, and you think, we'll find out later, and then you totally forget about it. That plot line comes back, and it's a really interesting twist at the very end, leaving room for a sequel. So I highly suggest that everyone read this book before the movie, and that you then read the sequel. I've read the sequel, and it continues on with the storyline of the aftermath of that pivotal turning point in the story where it gives a little twist to liven things up a little bit. Thank you for listening.